I'll be honest with you. It's a little tough to do this Flyers recap right after the Sixers just had a devastating emotional loss, but the Flyers had a big game tonight as well as they went and battled against the Washington Capitals. I guess I could say the word battled because they fought hard, but when you put yourself in a 5-goal deficit against a team that just won the Stanley Cup, you're realistically not going to have a good chance of winning the hockey game. That's exactly what happened, as early in this game, the Washington Capitals just came out way faster than us. They had speed, they had momentum, they had flow, and the Flyers were on their heels. You could just sense a goal early, and that's exactly what happened. There were some ridiculous goals in this game to the point where there were 3 players on Tom Wilson, and somehow he gets a stick on it that goes into the back of the net. There was a goal by Alexander Ovechkin where we literally had 4 players on one side of the ice and left Ovi wide open on his side where he does damage every single time. I know he's going to get his, but you can't just leave Alexander Ovechkin wide open on that side of the ice. It's not setting yourself up for good things to happen. So that happened, and some short side goal cheese happens. There's so much stuff that occurred here, and within a period and 5 minutes into the second, we're down 5-0. Okay, so you're not doing great when you're down 5-0. Of course, we switch netminders, and then right before the second period ends, Philip Meyer scores his first career goal, which kind of sucks because your first career NHL goal, you're down 5-0 to make it 5-1. You're happy, you get a little fist bump in there, but at the end of the day, that did help spark a little something, though, because in the third, 10 seconds in, Claude Giroux with a Who's Your Daddy, What's He Do? Nice stick on puck there, and we cut it to 5-2, and Scott Laughton gets his stick on puck as he deflects one. Now it's 5-3, but after that, it got tough for the Flyers, and let's be real, a 5-goal deficit, you're really not going to win that hockey game. This hurt. This definitely hurt standing-wise, and every single point gets that much harder and means that much more, really, especially because we had an off night last night, and the teams that we needed to lose ended up getting some crucial points. So this loss really does hurt us, and it's starting to settle in. It's starting to settle in that as much as they want to keep fighting and keep playing hard, which I respect and I want them to do without a doubt, it's starting to, I think, settle, especially for the fan base. And not that I didn't think that not that I thought that we had a serious chance, but the 0.005% chance that I was hanging on probably just moved to 0.002%. It's really starting to just fade away. And I watched the Washington Capitals, and I was watching a little bit of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I was watching a little bit of Boston throughout the last couple days. I forget what it's like to have a hockey team that was actually really good, that can actually make some noise in the playoffs. I don't even remember what that's like. I really don't. It's been such a crazy ride the last few years with the Flyers, and I just don't remember what it is like to sit down and watch the Flyers as if I would the Sixers right now. We watch the Sixers, we dissect them, we love them, we know that there's playoffs, we know that they have a chance to make a push of this thing. When I watch the Flyers, I'm just excited for them to play hard because they've been playing hard. It's cool, don't get me wrong, it's way better than what it was when we were on that 8-game losing skid, but just watching them to play hard, man, I want to feel excitement for playoff hockey. I want to feel some juice rolling into the playoffs and seeing a hockey team with the Flyers logo on the chest playing deep into the spring. I want to see that. I don't even remember what it feels like. It sucks. And watching teams like Washington, I get jealous. Because I want it. I want it so bad. So looking at some stats for, some players here. For the Flyers, Sean Couturier gets 2 apples. Claude Giroux gets 2 points. He gets a goal and an assist. Scott Laughton gets a goal. Oscar Lindblom, McDonald get assists. Raffle gets an assist. But, when you have Ovi getting multi-point nights, Backstrom's on there for a multi-point night. John Carlson, an unbelievable defenseman. And one thing, before the game, the NBC Sports broadcast, Brian Boucher was talking to him around warm-up time, and John Carlson said, listen, we know how hot the Flyers are. We get it. They are a phenomenal team right now, playing with a lot of energy and passion. But we haven't played a game and started out a game hot. We haven't started out a game on our toes in many, many starts. So we need to make sure we do that tonight. And that quote stuck with me. I said, okay, let's see how they start. I would say 5-0. 5 minutes into a second period is a nice start. So, I mean, that's where the Flyers are. They fall to 32, 27, and 8 on the season. And taking a look at what we have up next, we have another game up against the Islanders in their barn. Once again, we have the Senators. So, then the Caps again, Leafs, Penguins, Canadians. At this point, listen, I mean, I love the Flyers, but my hopes are really, 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 really slipping. And I'm going to continue to watch, obviously, for the heart and fight that they're playing with. But it's really starting to fade on me, and that's just reality. So down below, I want to know how much pride you take in a game like this. Understanding the circumstances, understanding where we are as an organization right now, understanding the standings. Does the 5-0 deficit cut to 5-3 and show and heart really mean anything to you? Or at this point, are you really just facing reality with me and saying the .00002 or whatever it was % chance is really starting to fade away for you? Or are you holding on? Are you holding on? I'm sure there are fans out there saying, it's not over until it's over. And by all means, I respect the hell out of your decision. This is coming from a guy that left the Stadium Series early. This is coming from a guy that said, when it was 5-0, I would leave this game if I was there. Just joking around, knowing that I left the Stadium Series. Then they start to chip back. Then it's 5-1, 5-2, 5-3. I was laughing by myself watching this game, literally laughing in my basement, going, of course, because you said you would leave. Oh, that would have been classic if they came back and won, just for that sole purpose. So, yeah, I want to know in the comment section your thoughts on this game. Do you find value in it anymore? Are you going to continue to watch? Do you even get excited watching the Flyers anymore? Or are you just with me where you just love the game one and respect that they continue to give you 180%? Because they, don't get me wrong, okay? The first period in 5 minutes, they didn't do that. They didn't give you 180%, but they definitely don't lack heart. But this has been an issue all season long. This is what we do. The emotional rides of win streaks, losing streaks, the emotional rides in particular games itself, going down 5, coming back 3. It's just, it describes the Flyers organization. It describes what we have been throughout the years. And I will say this, I think big moves are coming. I think big off-season moves are coming. I know that's not related to this game or anything, but I believe with what our cap space is and some free agents out there on the market that we bring in some talent this year. I would love to attack a defenseman. When I was talking about John Carlson and watching him play, we need someone like that. Honestly, we need a defenseman like John Carlson. We need a veteran-type defenseman. I like the kids. I get it. They're young. They have to grow. But with those young kids, we need some sort of leader. And I'm sorry, but Radko Gudas and McDonald, they're not necessarily the leader that I'm talking about. That's just reality. I'm talking a serious leader. And I watch John Carlson. I watch these players. We don't have that. We just don't have that. So the Flyers fall short tonight. It was a hell of a ride. A hell of a ride. You can hear the Wells Fargo Center go from the common boos when it's not so good for the Flyers into the big cheers and the big hype and trying to get the squad over the hump there late. But the Capitals hold on and they find a way to win. This isn't the same Capitals team as they were when they won the Cup, of course. They're a little bit more flawed this year, but good teams like that, they don't give up 5-0 leads. Most teams in the NHL. I would hope the Flyers wouldn't even give that up. I would even say the Coyotes probably don't even give those up. Maybe. The Ducks would never even have a 5-goal lead, let's be real. So, at the end of the day, you just got to keep watching for the pure entertainment of hockey. Not so much the playoff push, in my opinion. That's just where I'm at. Knowing me, we'll win the next game, and I'll be flipped right back around. You know how I work. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. See you guys next time.